Hello community! Today I am seeing you from a hotel. This video is about the benefits of having the occasional solo getaway. Now, first and foremost, what you need to consider is the length of your trip and the place that you're going. So for most people with home and work obligations, having 1 or 2 nights is the most practical, but I know people who've extended it to up to a week of a solo getaway. So it's up to what is practical and feasible for you. It needs to be long enough for you to get that refresher, but without actually falling behind on your realistic responsibility. So for me, 1 or 2 nights is good. And then the location you go to, I'm just doing a staycation 30 minutes from my house. That is the best route to go, actually, if you want that serene refresher, because if you're getting really far away, you have to spend the time packing your bags and logistics and traveling far, and that alone can be draining. So something, just a quick staycation close to your house. Get a simple, affordable, yet high quality and comfortable room. So don't get something that's, sometimes if you get the cheapest of the cheapest rooms, it's not in a good area and the room isn't clean and you have all those problems. Yet at the same time, if you go to one of those fancy resorts, like you see the TV ads for Sandals all-inclusive or Disney resorts or a cruise ship, that is fun, but it's not always the best way to get a personal refresher, because there's just a lot of stimulation around you on those kinds of resorts. I remember going on a cruise last year, how it was really fun, but I didn't feel like it was the best way to get a self-reflective recharging period, because there is a lot of stimulation and a lot of people there. So that's why I like to keep it simple with a basic hotel room that has the essentials but nothing more, so it's not too much. And something that's fun to do in the hotel is try the different food. If you go to any of those online food ordering websites, it can make you aware of restaurants in your area that you didn't notice. So you get to taste something different, and if you really like it, you could say to yourself, hey, maybe I can go to this restaurant more often. So the room service is pretty fun. Something else that I like to do here, the main purpose is refreshing and recharging. So typically when I arrive, I actually spend some time not even doing anything, like not even watching a movie, but just processing some thoughts that have been on my mind lately, and reflecting on things I need, sometimes writing or drawing and getting a bit creative. So I usually start with that, because the whole purpose of a solo getaway for me and a lot of other people I know who do it is just to recharge and reflect. I do it at times when I've noticed that lately I've been getting this brain mush feeling from managing a lot of different responsibilities between work and family life and business. I have multiple businesses with the fitness training and the music lessons and the band I perform with, and even pet sitting. So lately I've been doing a lot of promotional events and promotional videos and getting new clients, and discussing brand partnerships with other business owners. So it's just been a lot of stuff, and in addition to that, having the typical family obligations. So sometimes even sitting at home and taking a nap is not what exactly you need to get the full refreshment feeling, because you still do have people around you. You still see there your responsibilities. Like I see my home office and I'm reminded of my work, the jobs I have to do, multiple jobs for multiple business ventures that I manage. So yeah, being a serial entrepreneur with a family makes you sometimes overwhelmed. Previously, before this, I had another weekend hotel getaway in mid-August, and that's when we were in the middle of recording the 3rd Carcasa album, Let It Rise. So we were fitting in recording sessions between lessons with our private clients. So I was like, wow, this is a lot. And it was getting all mixed up in my brain, and I need to sort some things out with myself. So that's why when I arrive, the first thing I do is nothing in particular, just process some things. And I also like to take the time to watch some videos and movies that I've been wanting to see. So it can be anything from entertainment to informative videos, like things I've been wanting to know, or again, just movies that I want to watch for fun. So when you have a solo getaway, you definitely want to use the time for enjoyment, anything that you like, but that is relaxing, because what you want to do is get your energy levels to recharge like a battery. You want to feel that after you leave your staycation that your energy levels are higher, not lower. That's why I say that a solo getaway is a more effective refresher than something like a Disney resort. Something fancy can actually be too draining because of too much stimulation. And just a word for y'all is that you definitely need to use your time wisely and responsibly. So don't abuse it as, oh, I'm gonna get a ton of liquor and get super drunk and smoke different things. I'm gonna drink a lot, then take a bath and fall asleep in the bathtub, then go outside and run around all crazy like that. Don't trash the hotel room. Don't abuse the time, you know. It's effective when you use it as a refresher. So you want to do things that are physically and mentally healthy for you. So that doesn't necessarily mean you gotta only eat green kale here. You can try some treats, you know, try some sort of like food room service, Grubhub or DoorDash or Uber Eats. Get what you want. Yeah, get what you feel like. But at the same time, you want to be, you know, just using your common sense, because remember that even when you're having a solo getaway, time does not stop and there is still a world around you that you gotta be aware of. Then, as well as that, I like to make this video because a lot of people think about a solo getaway, but they don't necessarily do it. They're like, some people would maybe feel kind of guilty about doing it. They're like, oh, am I the only one who does this? You might even feel ashamed of yourself for the fact that you've been feeling overwhelmed and feel the need to get away. As I personally was thinking about having a hotel day for many months, like maybe even a year before I actually did it, because I had those feelings like, oh, well, you know, am I just being wimpy for the fact that I feel like I've been overwhelmed and want to get away? Do I deserve this? Would it be irresponsible for me to leave obligations behind and just be solo? And so I like to share that I do it to show that if you are thinking about this, or if you have done it, you are not the only one. In fact, I actually got this idea from seeing a social media post from Sarah Blakely, who's a billionaire entrepreneur. She was posting, oh, I spent this whole week in the hotel eating M&Ms and watching movies and sitting in the bathtub. I was like, that's a really good idea. When you see one of your role models who you look up to doing something that you might have felt a little guilty about wanting, it puts it into perspective. It shows you like, hey, this is something that highly successful people do, because why it is essential to keep yourself in good mental health when you are managing responsibility. So myself as a serial entrepreneur, I have to organize my thoughts, and sometimes that means recognizing when your thoughts have gotten all mushed up in your head and you need that time to reflect and sort things out. I've even seen some of my Facebook friends doing it as well, and they'll say, I had a week or a weekend or a day, you know, again, however long you need and however long is practical. So I would say the time that you have in your solo getaway, think about quality over quantity. So really use the time to give yourself what you know that you need. Now, previously, it took me some practice to get good at doing the solo getaway thing, because the first time I did it, I was just not really getting away from things. My brain was still in my work and obligations. I spent a lot of time just, contemplating worries and checking up on messages and posts and things that were not the refresher that I actually needed. I was like, oh, I'm here alone, but I'm still obligated to check on these things. And sometimes if you let your obligations sit for a while, you realize what was actually important and really needed your attention versus things that you were worrying about but that turned out to be not so crucial. So as business owners, we can get into that, wanting to tend to every single little detail, but getting away from things and having a bit of a reset, it makes you aware of the things that actually need your attention versus the things that you are just giving too much attention to unnecessarily. So those are my tips for the hotel day. Number 1, choose a good place to do it. Keep it simple. Number 2, make it as long as you need, but not excessive. Number 3, try some new food. You won't regret it. Number 4, be safe, reasonable, and responsible with it. Number 5, don't feel guilty or ashamed of yourself for wanting to take the time to get away. And number 6 was let yourself recharge and use the time the way that you really need to. Okay, so let me know in the comments if you've tried this before or if you're inspired to try it out now. I love to hear all about it. Thanks again. If this video was helpful to you, which I'm sure it was, if you're watching to this point, give it a like and subscribe because you want to see a lot more from me. Okay, well, thanks everyone. Take care and see you next time.